All right, first of all, I'd like to talk about how beautiful my drawings are of right triangles. People come from all over the world just to see my right triangle drawings, okay? So what today is going to be about is Pythagorean theorem. Because we're starting to get into a little bit of geometry stuff. So this is just the very basics of geometry. It's called trigonometry, which is kind of a fun word to say. So Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And this only happens in right triangles, triangles with 90 degrees. And I know this is a triangle with 90 degrees because it has this little square here. Same thing here, that means 90 degrees anytime that you see that. And it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Always talking about the sides. Because we all know that the angles add up to be 180 degrees. But the sides, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So if I'm doing this, it does not ever matter which one's a and b. However, c is always across from my right angle. So if I have a right triangle, c is the one that's across from it or opposite. A and b don't matter. You could switch these. You can make this one b and this one a if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. It only matters that that one's c. So my first problem here, I've got 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to c squared. Okay, again, if you want to make it 4 squared plus 3 squared is equal to c squared, same thing. So that's going to be 9 plus 16 is equal to c squared. That's going to be 25 is equal to c squared. Now this is usually where we take the plus or minus square root, but because we're talking about a distance, a length of something, we're not going to do plus or minus. We're only going to talk about positive. Okay, so I'm going to take the square root of 25. And is 25 one of my numbers on the list? Yep. 25 equals 5 when you take the square root of it. So my answer for C is going to be 5. And I'm finished. That's my answer. So my value for C is 5. Okay? One of the most famous right triangles, 3, 4, 5. Number 2 over here. All right, here's my right angle. So this has to be my C value. 31 has to be my C value. So I'm going to say a squared plus 9 squared is equal to 31 squared. Okay? So when I do a squared, it's a squared. When I do 9 squared, it's 81. When I do 31 squared, I'm not too sure, so I'm going to grab the calculator. 31 squared is 961, because of course it is. Why would it not be? All right? I'm going to subtract 81 from both sides. So I'm going to get a squared is equal to 961 minus 81 is 880. And then I'm going to say to myself, do any of these numbers over here divide into 880? Okay? So if I start dividing these out, the largest number that divides into 880 is 16. So I got to take the square root of it. So let me do that real fast. So that becomes radical 16. And when I divide 880 by 16, I get 55. Okay? What is the square root of 16? Well, the square root of 16 is 4. So this becomes 4 radical 55. And that's how you do the Pythagorean theorem.